wear pants. We will never be able to repay that. We would have been pantsless the entire game.
I have been owned, I think.
All right, let's start on the right here. My right. I don't care about your right.
Oh, right. Okay. I was just wondering, are we going to be able to have different colored lightsabers, like the black and silver?
Ooh, so the question was, are we going to see some of the more unusual colored lightsabers, like the black and the silver? There is a broad spectrum of crystals available out in the galaxy. We have not made final plans on some of the more esoteric ones. They all have very specific canonical connotations as far as what they represent and how they come to be. So there are still discussions afoot.
They answer like a politician.
I was wondering if there's going to be a lot of cross-class stuff, like bounty hunters being able to use lightsabers, that kind of thing.
Is there going to be a lot of cross-class stuff? The example given was bounty hunters using lightsabers. There will not be bounty hunters using lightsabers. There is a lot of cross-class, thank you. There will be a lot of cross-class story elements. There's a lot of stuff that happens between the pieces. As the writer, one of my main jobs is to look at all the stuff that's happening interestingly between the different classes and see how to pull it together and pull together the bigger story. If you really want to know all the things that's happening in the TOR galaxy, you really want to play through all of the different classes, but we will not be giving bounty hunters lightsabers. On the right.
With the multiplayer conversation system, say there's something with lasting effect. If somebody else answers for me, is it buyer beware who I'm playing with? Or am I going to be able to fix that for my character?
So the question was multiplayer dialogue, which is something that people didn't realize was in there. So at some point today and yesterday during PAX, people started to realize, hey, it's not a demo. The whole game is here. And people started doing /invite, and all of a sudden we saw people in multiplayer dialogue. And the question was, I'm in multiplayer dialogue, and I lose. I lose the vote. Right? We're trying to figure out whether we're going to do something dark side or light side, and I didn't get my way. Is it, as he said, buyer beware? Have you changed something in your game? Yes. Yes, you have. Now, one of the things that we're doing right now is the light side, dark side system goes by intention. So because you were the guy standing in front of the person saying, you know what, let's not kill him. We really don't need to kill this guy. You still get your light side points, even though Blaine already shot him in the head. It was like, this guy? Were we not going to kill this guy? One of the things we've already started to see through testing is that groups tend to pull together. I always use the Han Solo example. When we start out and we see Han Solo, he's clearly a dark side smuggler. He doesn't care about anybody. He's doing his own thing. But he kind of gets pushed into taking the light side quest, and he's like, okay, this once we'll save the princess. All right, we'll fight the Death Star. Okay, I'll come. By the end of the campaign, he's just light side, right? He always plays with the light side group, so he said, all right, screw it, I'll be light side, I'm gonna be a general, and I'm gonna have kids, and hang out with ladies, all right. But yes, what we've always tried to recreate is the real feel of playing with people. And what people keep asking is, if I play with people, will it change my experience? The answer is yes. This is the horrifying thing that happens when you go out and socialize with humans. So is Space Combat going to be a rail shooter? Excuse me?
Is Space Combat just a rail shooter?
Space Combat is a rail shooter. Well, we say tube shooter, because a rail shooter technically sticks you in one place. A tube shooter, you have a lot more sort of move around. This is something that obviously the community, there were a lot of questions around. We came up with Space Combat the same way we came up with everything else. We took all the footage from all the movies and we put it together. And you guys are really into Star Wars. You know your movies, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So you guys remember that part where Han Solo and Chewbacca are in the Millennium Falcon? And then he's like, hey, Chewie, let's go into space and let's just dick around. Let's just go off that direction and let's see if there's anything interesting just floating around randomly in space. And then you remember they went off and there was an asteroid and they mined the asteroid and they found some loot. And then they just kind of like tooled around. We couldn't find that either. What we found is two things happen in space. One, you wanted to go somewhere and you went through hyperspace really fast. Bam, and you got there. Two, you wanted to go to a battle or you tried to go somewhere and someone stopped you. Boom, uh-oh, giant exciting combat. Capital ships are coming out of hyperspace. Ships are everywhere. Everything's getting blown up. Everything is colorful, beautiful, huge things, and then we're done. And then we go on and do something else. And that is why we went for the space combat we did.
Movie moments is really what we're trying to deliver there.
On the right, with the awesome glasses.
I think, will a Jedi Knight be able to learn how to use Force Choke or Force Lightning?
Will a Jedi Knight be able to use, what was the first one, Force Choke?
Yeah.
Force Choke and Force Lightning. There are abilities that walk the line, which is sort of what the question is do you have light side, dark side abilities? There are also sort of trademark abilities. And the two that you've named, both Force Lightning and Force Choke are sort of single class trademark abilities. So Force Choke belongs to the Warrior. It's nice, it gives him something friendly to do in conversations, as you saw. Force Lightning tends to belong to the Inquisitor for the same thing. You see it a lot. One of the questions we had early, we asked ourselves is if you could shoot lightning out of your fingertips, how often would that come up in conversation? Turns out a lot. So there are some nicer abilities you can get as a Sith. There are some harsher abilities you can get as a Jedi, but the really sort of trademark ones, we've tried to keep particular classes to give them something to make their own.